Tsunami advisory sends panic across western Washington. What they're not telling you. On a quiet Tuesday morning, the Pacific Northwest was jolted not by an earthquake, but by something eerily silent. A tsunami advisory. The calm waves, the peaceful skies, all hiding a creeping threat beneath the ocean floor. Coastal towns received alerts. Phones buzzed. People panicked. But there's more to this story than just an advisory. This is a warning for what may be coming, and what many don't want to admit. At exactly 4:15 a.m. Pacific Time, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration issued a tsunami advisory for parts of western Washington. Areas like Grays Harbor, Ocean Shores, Long Beach, and the Olympic Peninsula were put on high alert. This wasn't a drill. The advisory came with this message. Strong currents and unpredictable surges expected. Stay off the beach. People woke up confused. No quake was felt. No alarms blared in some areas. Yet, a silent emergency was unfolding. The advisory wasn't about a towering wave crashing onto shore. It was about the sea behaving in unpredictable ways. Pulling, pushing, distorting. Dangerous. Invisible forces moving through the water. The trigger was a powerful magnitude 7.4 undersea earthquake off the coast of Alaska, part of the infamous Ring of Fire. Though hundreds of miles away, the shock waves were enough to displace ocean water, setting off alarms thousands of miles down the coast. According to experts, the quake did not generate a tsunami large enough to impact the entire Pacific basin. But localized currents, tidal shifts, and wave amplification in narrow coastal areas were enough to warrant concern. The most unsettling part? Many residents had no idea it even happened. The ocean, after all, doesn't always roar. Sometimes it whispers. In Ocean Shores, one fisherman described a strange moment. He said, "The tide started pulling out like I've never seen. Not fast, but unnatural. And then it surged in just as quickly." A mother in Westport told reporters she was already awake when she saw the alert on her phone. She immediately packed up her kids and drove them inland. No one knew how serious it was. The sirens didn't go off. I didn't wait. I couldn't. We just left. Local officials struggled to communicate. Some towns had fully functioning alert systems. Others had outdated or broken sirens. In a real tsunami, those few minutes matter. While this advisory ended without disaster, it raised serious questions about the region's preparedness for the big one. That's where the Cascadia subduction zone comes in. This fault line, running from Northern California to British Columbia, is capable of producing a magnitude 9.0 earthquake and a massive tsunami. Scientists believe it last ruptured in the year 1700, and they estimate it's due for another major event. When, not if, it happens, the tsunami could reach the Washington coast in as little as 15 minutes. Tsunami modeling shows waves up to 30 feet high could hit beach communities, washing away homes, roads, and everything in their path. There are underwater sensors along the ocean floor called dart buoys. These devices help detect sudden pressure changes in deep water that indicate a tsunami. But recently, some of these buoys have reported anomalies, small changes in ocean pressure that couldn't be explained by tides or weather alone. Scientists dismiss them as inconclusive, but coastal watchdogs believe these are tremors, geological murmurs of the ocean shifting beneath us. Combine that with a 7.4 quake nearby, and suddenly this advisory starts to feel a lot more like a wake-up call. After every advisory or near miss, the same questions echo through local communities. Why aren't sirens tested regularly? Why do some towns get alerts and others don't? Why aren't evacuation routes clearly marked or practiced? Emergency officials often cite budget constraints, aging infrastructure, or low perceived risk. But ask anyone who's lived through a real disaster, like the 2004 Indian Ocean tsunami or the 2011 Tohoku quake in Japan, and they'll tell you, complacency kills. A town manager in Pacific County anonymously said, "We're not ready. If Cascadia hits, we lose half our population in 20 minutes. If you live in or near tsunami zone, take this seriously. Here's what you can do right now. Identify and memorize evacuation routes. You may only have minutes. Practice tsunami drills with your family. Don't wait for sirens. If you feel a strong earthquake, head for high ground immediately. Pack a go bag with essentials: water, food, flashlight, radio, medication. Share stories like this one. Help raise awareness. The tsunami advisory may have come and gone, but the forces that cause it are still moving beneath us.